Alright, good morning everybody. We were talking about this a lot yesterday. Some of you guys got a sneak peek on Wednesday when I played this against Nassif while he was streaming. But I've been actually kind of trying to figure this deck out since like the release of MH2. Oh, let me do the chest cold open. Happy Friday, all you beautiful spikelings. Welcome back to my Shark Typhoon. I am always your host, Twitch most consistent e-boy and the carrier of the category Aspiring Spike. During my 2-hour meditation this morning, I realized I play a lot of life total control and hand control, but not much combo. We're going to rectify that today with Saffi Rallier combo. So watch me play Magic with myself as I combo off with some wins. And if you like what you see, leave a like, sub, so on. So the general idea, and something maybe a lot of people aren't super familiar with, because this is not a combo that's really seen much play in Modern ever. Coop, thank you for the 11 months. Appreciate ya. Let me go ahead and just see if I can pull the list up over here. It's a bit easier to drag the cards around. But the idea, so Saffi Eriksdotter, whatever. This card is plus Renegade Rallier is what the deck is built around. Saffi says when you can sacrifice it, target a different creature. Whenever that creature is put into a graveyard this turn, you return it to the battlefield. So you sacrifice your Saffi, you target your Renegade Rallier, and then if you have another sack outlet, you sacrifice your Rallier, then it comes back to the Saffi's trigger, then it brings back your Saffi. And so you basically get infinite creatures to sacrifice if you can assemble these two cards. And what's cool about playing these two cards is that Renegade Rallier is a combo piece, but it's just a generally powerful card. Where just like, this is just a pretty powerful effect. It's really powerful with Ephemerate. It's really powerful to Neoform into, powerful to get back your Wall of Omens. And so your sack outlets for this deck are Carrion Feeder, Viscera Seer, and Blasting Station. So the general idea is that a lot of times you're going to either use Eladamri's Call or Ranger-Captain to find a Carrion Feeder or Viscera Seer. You'll get Carrion Feeder if you think this is just going to kill them because it gets infinitely big, or if you think your opponent can't beat an infinitely big creature. And if that doesn't work, or you could draw a card, you're going to get Viscera Seer, and then you're going to scry your entire deck until you find a Blasting Station. And then Blasting Station is going to actually kill your opponent. That's the idea, at least. And so I've been doing some playtesting. I actually do believe in this deck. I've been liking it. We're using Neoform and Eladamri's Call and Ranger-Captain as our tutors. And what's cool is that you do just also have this kind of like fair value Ephemerate game plan. You have Eternal Witness Ephemerate. You have Soulherder. You have Soulherder Venser. You can Eladamri's Call for Endurance or Solitude. And then in the sideboard, you have a lot of like powerful, impactful creatures to tutor for, and your Yorion sideboard too. Yorion can also win you some games. So, this is the brew. I've been playtesting it. I've been liking it. Can play some games. Yeah, deck is definitely wild. Cuba 11 months ago, deck tech for a snail chosen at random. I've been trying to build a deck kind of like this with the Extraction Specialist. Bro Tuscan with the gifted sub. Thank you. Oh, cool. It's another Saffi deck. I probably wouldn't play Gavany Township, but I do have a soft spot for the card, so I can't really fault you too much. Okay, one lander, mulligan. Okay, pretty easily keep this hand. I do have the combo. I could just maybe put back a land. Yeah, let's this turn. Let's go. We'll see what happens, right? But I think I'm pretty likely to go turn 1 bird. If my bird lives, I can go turn 2 Rallier into Viscera Seer, and then I can just Eladamri's Call for Saffi. I would play Leyline over Aegis of the Gods. Even the fact that you're a Coco deck, just like, if this is an effect you want, Leyline's a lot better. It's just so much more resilient. I like the Grand Abolishers a lot. I think they're good. I don't know what the Decays are trying to target, though. I feel like that card may be a little lost in the sauce. Ooh, Renegade Rallier. Okay, so let me go grab Breeding Pool here. Breeding Pool into Overgrown Tomb. Overgrown Tomb or Godless Shrine? Probably Godless Shrine, actually. Yeah, I might actually play Veil of Summer over Grand Abolisher the more I'm thinking about it. I know I kind of initially liked it. Flipping the script. And I would actually play Drannith Magistrate over Chalice of the Void. Maybe play like the 3rd Drannith Magistrate too. Vance of the 17 months. Once again, suggesting you add my pet card. You can make room for it by cutting basic land. Is this the good? I've been playtesting it. I believe in it. I will say, like, the deck has felt really strong. It's felt consistent. I also both feel like I'm getting percentage points because my opponents do not know how to play around it, and I also feel like I am losing percentage points because I'm like, I don't feel like I've played most games perfectly. This deck has been really hard to pilot, which has been, I kind of feel like this is like how so many of my brews go, is that like I really like the deck. I think that the decks I build a lot of times are really hard to pilot, but they are powerful, and like a lot of times people just like have a really hard time picking them up and playing them. If that makes sense. So they could have Metallic Rebuke here, but then next turn we can Soulherder the Rallier, get back to Saffi. Spike, if I want you to check out Decklist link, you have to give 2 subs or donate $10 or save up 50,000 channel points. You feel like it's better than the persist creatures, the thing that subs counters? Yeah, see, what I like about playing Saffi Rallier here is that like Saffi and Rallier are just individually more powerful cards that work really well with, like, Rallier at least works really well with Ephemerate. When you compare that to like Malera or whatever, like those cards just kind of suck. Those cards are just kind of generally pretty underpowered. Did a player Metallic Rebuke the call? No. If they had Metallic Rebuke, I want them to rebuke the call. I want them to rebuke the call and not the Saffi, right? Because then I just get to Soulherder. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that is wrong. Maybe I would rather them rebuke the Saffi because I have the Soulherder. I did think about that. I thought if they had rebuke, I wanted them to rebuke the call. But maybe that was the wrong thought process. Happy out the 29 months. Appreciate you. Decay's there since I couldn't come up with a great answer for Voidwalker. More Grists would help you deal with Voidwalker. I would also like maybe just caution or encourage you to play Fatal Push if that's like your plan, because it pushes 1 mana and it's also probably better against Hammer Time being 1 mana. Also gets recipes and stuff. I guess that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. It's probably fine. As long as you have, like, you know, it's not just in there for like, oh, I'm just gonna hit, you know, random permanents, then I think you're fine. Okay, this is the painful part of the deck that's way better in paper. Ordinary Hands, thank you for the gifted sub, appreciate you. This is like the super painful part of it. I think my opponent does not have anything. They're playing Hammer. I think they're pretty light on the interaction game 1, but I think they're just trying to understand how this combo works. We just win here. We win here if they have nothing. It's going to be like roughly like 1,000 clicks. And this is part of the reason why I don't like to play too many combo decks like this on stream. It's just so many clicks. But what we're going to do here is we're going to scry until we find our blasting station. So we're going to need to set some... we can't save the targets, but we can't always yield. Pat, thank you for the subscription. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's also a Yorion deck. Again, this process is much less painful in paper. It's also, I'm sure, less painful if your opponent doesn't, you know, take this long. Oh, they do have something. They do have something. They have March. Okay. And they just didn't know when to interact with this. Okay, fair enough. So we have lost our Scryer. I have to get back to Saffi. But if we find a flicker effect, oh, like the Soulherder. Okay, so Soulherder, Ranger-Captain lets us get an infinitely big Carrion Feeder. But Soulherder also just lets us get back Viscera Seer next turn. And we can't really do both. I think I'm just gonna bottom. We can untap the Saffi and the Rallier if we need to. I mean, we're gonna actually just get to untap the Rallier for free. We're at 13. Infinite life. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh no, it wasn't infinite life because if we go Ranger Captain for Essence Warden there, we can't also Soulherder back the Viscera Seer. So I think like bottoming and just like maybe funding the blasting station is better. I could be wrong about that, I guess. Oh, Soulherder also... No, it doesn't get infinitely big. It's not infinitely flickers. The combo is Renegade Rallier, Saffi, plus Sack Outlet, second rest every target Rallier, second rest 2 loops, infinite. Yeah, if you could maybe add that part of it is trying to... part of it is trying to scry into the blasting station with the Viscera Seer. How many combo lines in the deck? There's a bunch. There's a bunch. Why can't you win here by flickering Rallier, bringing back Seer, going off again in my instep? I can. I can't win. I can't win. Like, because the combo is me scrying into blasting station. We're also dead here to Paladin, right? And they didn't make a, yeah, they didn't make a construct, so they definitely have the Paladin. And then this is going to be 22 trample. So they're going to be just a turn too slow. It's kind of unfortunate to run into main deck interaction against Hammer Time, too. Why Blasting Station over Blood Artist? It's more resilience. You could play Blood Artist, that'd be fine too. Blood Artist is maybe just better, actually. The more I think about it, because it's tutorable. Why did I pick Blasting Station? This feels so slow. I mean, my opponent interacted with the combo to take by 2 turns. I'm gonna add Blood Artist. I mean, I love to keep a turn 1 Vial. I love to keep a turn 1 Vial. I think I'm gonna need to mulligan though. Not a great hand. I think we have to keep on 6. Gonna put back the Godless Shrine and get the Abzan Triome on turn 1. So obviously Bombardment's better in both station, but it's red. Yeah, I mean, I think splashing a 5th color is like really far from free. It is obviously both, but like I think it's not worth splashing a 5th color just for that card. You can search for Goblin Engineer to put Altar Dimension in your graveyard, buy it back with Rallier. Yeah, it's also like splashing a 5th color though, but that's kind of interesting. There's our Saffi. So is my opponent playing Murktide, do you think? So Black Red mid-range this weekend, we'll see. I'm trying to stream the Pioneer Challenge, actually, and not the Modern Challenge on Sunday. Stream Pioneer Challenge on Sunday is what I'm trying to do. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think I'm just grabbing my Rallier, and then I can go like maybe Rallier, get back a fetch land. Oh, sorry, I can't. I don't have Revolt anymore. Right, needed to save the fetch land there. There's no advantage to throwing Kaya's Ghost Form in there. I mean, I don't know that Kaya's Ghost Form has never made a deck better. What does being a Yorion deck contribute to? Just a grindy plan? Well, you're a deck with lots of ETBs in it, and you're a deck with a lot of creature tutors. These are usually like decks where Yorion is at its best. Okay. Imagine Venser's probably not at its best in this matchup, but we will hold it up here. I think I'll just go ahead and bounce their Steam Vents right now. Just kind of make it annoying for them. It combos with Rally the same way Saffi does, for what it's worth. Yeah, I understand. Saffi is at least like a creature you get to play out. You're like way less vulnerable to creature removal playing Saffi. We're trying to think, and we're trying to think with the 16 months. Appreciate you. You also can't tutor Kaya's Ghost Form in the same way you can with Saffi. I mean, you can tutor Disciple of Heliod or Heliod's Acolyte, whatever that card's called. Yeah, maybe I'll see the land wasn't great. Okay. It's a good draw, though. I think I like leading on Saffi. Play Rallier. 5 cards still in their hand. Do you need Triomes? Open up anything in Pioneer that wasn't as consistent before? Maybe. I don't know. It's just gonna take some exploring. It's not something I have an immediate answer for. Okay, rough start. Yeah, I definitely messed up the sequencing too, where I couldn't play the Rallier on turn 3. Gonna bring in the Solitude and the Forge-Tender for sure. Sanctifier and Vec. Probably just these. Then I think we're gonna cut the Soul Warden? Maybe leave in Soul Warden. I guess Infinite Life is a win. Strictly for the 11 months, appreciate ya. Probably wanting to cut some number of Neoform against the Counterspell deck. Trim the 4th Saffi. Maybe cut all the Neoforms. Kind of like leaving one in. I think I'll trim the Soul Warden. Think Tank's last 2 comments have been, hey, Everett, take a chill pill in February of this year, and this year has come in and says Everett has gained substantial weight. I'd like to ask you, chill pill, or Think Tanks, do you feel like these are good comments? Do you feel good about coming here and leaving these comments? Or do you feel like that this was maybe not the best use of your time? Laugh, thank you for 3 months. Appreciate ya. Do you accept donation decks for deck techs if you don't have enough channel points? I do, yes. They're $10. Max for the 2 months. Appreciate ya. I think keeping this hand. It's obviously like a little slow. I do like to be able to Ranger-Captain for Forge-Tender, though. Yeah, maidenless behavior. The one of Neoform, by the way. Alright, better late than never on the Aether Vial, too. Gray out to 15 months, appreciate ya. I've even lost weight. If you image a Murktide, does the copy counter? So it does not know. Tapped breeding pool. Then my opponent very likely has got some counter magic up here. So I feel like it's probably just best to just blank that mana by putting Yorion into my hand. Do me next, do me next. Okay, iteration, so hopefully we can resolve something here. It's a bit awkward because, like, I would really like to Ranger-Captain for Forge-Tender. Yeah, well, I guess I could Phantasmal Image my Ranger-Captain. Yeah, I think I need to take the Vial up. Okay, we drew a land anyways, but it's not a land that lets me cast my Forge-Tender this turn. But I guess something I can do is I can go Ranger-Captain, grab my Forge-Tender, then Vial in Image, copy Ranger-Captain, and just grab a Birds of Paradise and cast that. Pretty good turn. Only Rallier was Wizards we could use in the bond. That'd be pretty cool, yeah. What happened to the Blue-White Hammer match? I realized someone suggested that we should have Blood Artist in the deck, and I realized that yes, we should have Blood Artist. So like one, they had main deck March of Otherworldly Light, and they killed us. And then I wanted to drop to rebuild the deck a bit better. Is Jund Delirium a good idea in Pioneer when the new Jund charm drops? I really like the new charm. I don't know that card necessarily goes particularly well in a Delirium shell necessarily, but it would be fine. I'm really high on that new charm. That's maybe the card I'm most excited for. In Blue-White Control, do you think Snap Opt is better than Chalice Kihira? It's like, it's at the very least close, you know what I mean? It's like not, I don't think, super lopsided towards one or the other there. Cascade decks are probably more popular right now than they've been in like a couple months even. And so like both, I would say that Murktide and Cascade decks feel very much on the uptick, and so like being on Chalice Kihira is really nice in that environment. That being said, it's also definitely the case that Chalice makes you much worse against the 4-color Omnath matchup, so I'm not sure. There certainly seem to be maybe some ins and some outs to the case. So I think I want to get my island in case my opponent did bring in Blood Moon, which it doesn't look like they did, but I also, there's always like some value too in like showing your opponent that you're willing to play around Blood Moon in game 2, and so that they won't bring it in for game 3. And I think I'm just going to start off by Neoforming, looking for my Voice of Resurgence. If my opponent counterspells the Neoform, I'll just Venser the counterspell. But now I have a Voice, and my opponent is really just not going to be able to use their mana very well here. And then I'll just hold up the... well... No, I should probably actually play this. Violin the Witness. Grab the Neoform, and then maybe cast Neoform, maybe not cast it. Oh, they're casting a spell? Please, 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 be my guest. Is Voice currently good? No, but it's an important role player in the deck. I think I just sacked the Forge-Tender here. It's kind of close. Unfortunately, I don't think that the Ragavan's close to getting through. Can't stop thinking about Savage Knuckleblade and the Fires Invention deck. I'm too lost in the sauce. Unfortunately, I do declare you to be too lost in the sauce. Savage Knuckleblade is not a Pioneer Power level card. But it does sound really fun. End of turn Dress Down. Oh no, Dress Down kills my tokens? Ugh. Stupid Dress Down. We're still, like, pretty ahead, I guess. Cowboy Gaming, thank you for the Twitch Prime, appreciate ya. Could the opponent have a board wipe? It's really unlikely that they would have a board wipe. Do you think that Absent Wolf deck has any potential? No, sorry. Potential to be cool, though. Okay, I declare Dress Down to be really good against our deck. Kind of weird they wouldn't instep on their turn of instance on theirs. But they only had 2 mana left, so that line doesn't really make any sense, right? Any plans to brew Explorer? No. It's just like, there's no point to brewing an Explorer when Explorer is just a format destined to become Pioneer, which is already like the more relevant format to be brewing in. Yeah, there's just like no reason to like dedicate time to brewing an Explorer. Okay, I'm gonna attack for 8. My opponent's at 8 life. Updated Red Cryptics and Missed Eternal Command. I mean, this is not a this is not that kind of deck. Okay, opponent goes down to 2. I think I'll just cast a Wall of Omens here. Hold up the Venser. Are there not going to be tournaments for Explorer before it comes Pioneer? They'll all be on Arena, a client that I have no cards on. And as far as I know, there are not going to be any like Pro Tour qualifying qualifiers on there. Can you play Modern on a budget? You can. I've written several budget decks for 4-channel Fireball budget options that you can build. Like there's like plenty of like most people will tell you to build like Burn or Prowess or Affinity on a budget, but I've got like some control variants, some mid-range variants, some like affinity variants on there that I think are all pretty reasonable. And then, you know, there's also like upgrade paths to, you know, build, you know, different decks that you want usually there too. What's Explorer? Explorer was a new format announced that's going to be Arena only, and it is every card that's currently Pioneer legal on Arena is the Explorer format, and then eventually that format will become Pioneer. Isn't this a budget deck other than Solitude Endurance? I mean, we play millions of like fetch lands. You play Aether Vial. Voice is probably not a cheap card either. Got Emrakul in here. What are worst matchups for you while playing Golos Coffers? I feel like I lose to Living End and Rhinos a bunch, which is kind of why I like the Reanimator version a lot. Cascade decks. Is Glittering Wish a thing in this deck potentially? No, I don't think so. I think Glittering Wish is like worse than Eladamri's Call would be almost all the time in Neo form. And Chord of Calling, I think it would be just like the 4th or 5th best tutor available to you. Okay, let's keep this hand. I'm gonna get Abzan Triumph probably turn 1 unless I draw a different 1-drop. And I do think Wall and Voice are probably pretty strong in this matchup. Voice is like $5, okay. That's a little bit of my price memory showing its ugly face, I guess. What's he say? It would eventually be Pioneer. They make the vague. I think that they said they intend to intentionally make it Pioneer. They're going to be implementing some like. Again, this is not me. This is me regurgitating what people in chat told me because I didn't read the whole article. Chat told me that they are going to print specific master sets, or they're just going to be printing the important cards first, like the relevant format staples, before like getting like all the like random commons and uncommons in there. I think Maze of Ith would be too good for Golos Coffers in Modern. I think Maze of Ith would be too good for Modern, yeah. I wouldn't be specifically for that deck, but I do think Maze of Ith would not be a healthy addition to Modern. They didn't seem like they had Blood Moon last game. I could try to get a basic Plains to play around it a little bit. I think I'm just going to lead on Wall of Omens. I think they're not that likely to counter Wall of Omens, and then having this in play is going to be, like, just blank all their Ragavans. When you do SNC ranking for Modern. I don't know what that is. SNC ranking. SNC these nuts. Perhaps. Do I like the Artanew Capino? I haven't really given it any thought. Kui, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. Oh, Streets of New Capino. Oh, I'll do it at some point. I will at some point put my review out. I think I'm gonna do it this weekend or like early next week. Just before it releases on Magic Online. But I am playing a pre-release this weekend, so I kind of want to wait till then to form my thoughts. Rookie with the 7 months. Appreciate you. And got a deck tech for King Ginger. Not a misplaced Ginger. The King. Okay, so we've talked about these decks a lot. I do think that there is something here. It is cool to, I think, splash blue in the like Mardu Reanimator deck that's been running around. You have to play 4 Persist, in my opinion. I think I really just encourage everybody to just take a deep breath and play the 4th Persist. I'm going to play Voice first, and then I might Yorion in my hands. I think I like just Yorion in hand here. I also think Touch the Spirit Realm is not powerful enough to play in this deck. The more I see it in action, the more I think like this is a Siege Rhino, this is a Snapcaster Mage, this is a Kolaghan's Command. Okay, those are not the right cards to necessarily compare it to, but this is a cool a cool card that is almost powerful enough to play, but it is a huge problem that the flicker is 2 mana instead of 1. That's really underpowered, and like both sides of this card are really underpowered. And I think if this card could exile enchantments, I would be like kind of about it, but it can't exile enchantments, and I just think that the card is just not quite there, you know? Okay, so I'm a bit worried about my opponent having another dress down. I'm not really sure what I can do to play around that. I guess I could get an Endurance. Yeah, Endurance is kind of good against dress down here, because if I go like main phase Endurance here, and my opponent dresses down, this keeps Delirium, and then it has to attack into my Endurance. So I would cut both of the Touch the Spirit Realms. I would play the 4th Persist, and maybe just the 4th Priest of Felrights too. I would play the 4th Grief over the. I would play the 4th Solitude or the 4th Grief over the 1st Fury in this list. I do like the Fables here. I like the mana. I would probably play the Mardu Triome over the Esper one, because you have the double red in the Seasoned Pyromancer. So having your Triomes tapped for red seems pretty important here. Don't play HCA in this deck. Do not play a card that exiles all graveyards in your Reanimator deck. Do not do it. Charmal is good though. Stony Silence is good. I think I would like to see more Prismatic Endings over the March of Otherworldly Light and Fatal Push, because these cards exile your opponent's relevant interaction. They're Rest in Peace, they're Nile Spellbombs and stuff. Okay, so I can attack here. I do think that they've got a dress down, which they maybe are not playing yet, just saving for next turn. Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 months, appreciate you. Kind of flooding out a little bit here. They've cast 2 iterations this game. Hopefully they don't have another one. Engineered Explosives on 2. Okay. How do you decide whether deck should be a Yorion deck? In this deck, it's like actually really easy. In my experience, creature-based decks with lots of value on the ETB. Another land, so frustrating. Sorry. I think I'm just gonna play a Yorion here. Attack for 6. In my experience, creature-based decks with lots of creature tutors, like we have here, Ranger-Captain, Neoform, Eladamri's Call, and lots of things to flicker for value, are easy Yorion decks. These are like very easily the best decks to play Yorion in. So in this spot, it's like a very easy call. It's not always this straightforward, but here I think it's actually very straightforward. Okay, so it seemed like they had a dress down. I guess they were just on double explosives, huh? They still have 4 cards left in their hand. There's a second. Oh, this is the 3rd iteration too. That's really bad for me. And now the Channeler has Delirium. Okay, it's a good draw. I think I'm going to play a Saffi pre-combat. What does this deck do better than deck Devoted Druid or Helia Company? It gets to play a better fair game than either of those decks. In my opinion, right? They have kind of played this entire game like they've had a counterspell. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to main phase this Eladamri's Call or not. I don't have my Endurance anymore. My only other flash creature I think is Venser. Let me just double check. Yeah, so it's not like I guess I have the Solitude up, right? But Just upkeep pre-draw. I think I just can wait here. Petty Theft on Yorion. It's kind of fine. I think I'm going to Solitude the Channeler here. This does open them up to Murktide, but the Murktide's only like a 4/4 at this spot, and I want to try to blink their counter magic. I can also like Eladamri's Call for like Ranger-Captain, for Carrion Feeder, sack the Solitude, Saffi the Solitude if they do play a big Murktide. Or just get another Solitude with the Eladamri's Call. Is that okay? It's not the. I did shuffle 2 iterations back in their deck, but this is the 4th iteration they've cast this game. Brutal. Does a new Jund Sharp have a place in Saga? No, I don't think you want to play it in Saga variants of Jund. How do you feel about the deck? I've always liked Bant. I'm liking the deck. I've been spending a lot of time with it off stream working on it. Oh my gosh. I've been liking it. It definitely does feel like a work in progress, but I have been liking it. Okay, so now they can't really Murktide because they know I can Yorion the Solitude. They have 4 cards in their hand. I really does feel like one of them is Counterspell. Unfortunately. Hey Kodo, how's it going? Let's see what we draw. Hopefully not another land. We've been pretty flooded this game. Feels so freaking horrible. We do have an Eternal Witness. My opponent's acted this entire game like they have a counterspell, so I'm gonna try to respect it a little bit here, because I'm so weak to counterspell. I'm bad at Magic. I think I maybe missed this, but thank you for 2 months. That's a deck question about 1 card. I played for a deck a few days ago. So my opinion, if I should play Tarmogoyf for Swift Spear. Yeah, you can. You can. We're playing Veil. We're not playing Veil. Don't have Veil in the sideboard. You know, our sideboard is all creatures that we can tutor for. I really like to build these kinds of decks this way. I guess I probably should have responded white tutoring for Solitude. Thoughts on Dusk Mangler as a creativity target in Pioneer. You guys just have to like, you have to like link the new cards. I don't have the entire new set names memorized yet. Okay, so I think they've got Counterspell as their last card. I'm going to Eladamri's Call for Solitude. They're going to counter the Solitude. I get to flicker this Solitude, exile this Murktide though, and hopefully draw like an Ephemerate or literally anything. I should have responded to the Channeler too. My bad. They keep a card on top, so I guess it's the same, but... Oh my gosh, I drew the Ephemerate. Better late than never. Better late than never. My opponent also, through the 4 iterations, through the Super Flood, we're somehow, like, ahead now. Ugh. Feels great. So they kept a card on top. It's definitely a spell. You gotta attack with that one, opponent. It's a bolt, okay. So we don't get any value off the Ephemerate rebounds, but we have a lot more mana. We have the first top deck, and we have a Solitude racing their Brazen Borrower, which is obviously like way better in the race. We drew a Razorverge Thicket for turn. I'm gonna lose my mind. We have 28 lands in the Yorion deck, which I think is like about the equivalent of 22 lands in a regular deck. No, it's even like less than that. I think like a little less than 21. So Tarmogoyf for Swift Spear is the question. I think we talked about this deck the other day. I feel like I like Chandra Acolyte of Flame more than almost anybody. I'd probably just play Tarmogoyf over it though. And you could still play the Swift Spears. You're kidding! This is just like the new brew curse, dude. It's just the new brew curse. It's so just like... it just happens every time. I think I may be out of fetchables in my Yorion deck. No, I still have the Godless Shrine. Sorry, I have that. I guess I should have played the other one. No, it's a spell, baby. It's a spell. If we can draw a Renegade Rallier, we win. They only have one card in their hands. Probably a counterspell, though. So we're behind on the race, right? Well, no, are we? Yeah, we're one turn behind right now. But a Renegade Rallier is a lethal top deck, assuming it resolves. We have plenty of ways to tutor it too. And funny enough, Birds of Paradise. Birds of Paradise actually, like, what is it now, puts us ahead in the race. It's exactly 21, so yeah. Seen a lot of Seasoned and Murktide sideboards lately. Thoughts? The card's fine. It's just like a totally reasonable option. People tend to like really like overthink a grindy card in Murktide. Like, I don't think Seasoned Pyromancer is like necessarily a lot better or worse than Jace. I haven't played much with it in Murktide. It's fine. Protean Hulk, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate you. Can you play Endurance with only 6 green cards? Yeah, that's what's nice about Endurance, is that card is just pretty hard castable, you know? Okay, they started to cast a spell, then stopped. Okay. So tense. They have 3 cards in their hand. Also seems like they're kind of flooded. We're technically winning the race, but they have more. They have almost definitely more spells than we do. Psychic damage. They also bolted my Carrion Feeder and not me. So it's possible that one of their cards is another bolt. That being said, we could maybe find another Solitude here. No. So now Renegade Rallier is not lethal, or I guess it wasn't lethal anyways. So I need to make sure that if I cast my Voice of Resurgence here, I'm not stopping myself from being able to Eladamri's Call for Solitude. Eladamri's Call, Solitude. Yeah, I can cast one Voice. I also didn't play this game perfectly. Brutal game. Good game, though, to be honest. All things considered. Problem with the new Obnix list. Everybody keeps coming into the chat going, Spike, you can sacrifice a 7/7 Death Shadow. You can sacrifice a Lightning Skelemental. You can sacrifice in a Sika's Chariot token and then copy your Chariot. It's just like, everybody is just imagining the best case scenario for this Obnix Elix. But if you're hitting your opponent with Lightning Skelemental, and Like, how do you actually have enough mana to scale Elemental and Ob in the same turn? That is basically never happening, or like it's not happening until turn 6, and it's just like I do think that the new Ob is fringe playable, right? I don't think this card is unplayable, but everybody is just like really obsessed with how awesome the best case scenarios are, and they're definitely awesome. They're definitely awesome. But like these are all just also like super win more, you know. What's this deck's gameplay against control? My meta is almost all phenomenal control players. I'm laughing because we get this comment all the time. My metagame is all control players spike. What do I do? How do I win? How do I win every game? I don't know, dude. I don't know how to help you. I'm just shocked by the amount of local metagames that are almost all phenomenal control players. Okay, so what are we grabbing here? Obviously, I think I'm gonna actually grab Giver of Runes. It's kind of, I think if I didn't have the second Eladamri's Call, I wouldn't be doing this, but Giver seems pretty promising here. It doesn't die to Burrenton 6. Not gonna play the Seer into the Burrenton 6 ping. Just pass. No, I haven't played the modern Anvil deck lately. I have been wanting to again, though. It's close. I feel like I just can't call and tell them exactly what my game plan is here. Playing the Seer sounds good since you can protect it with Giver. No, I mean, that line just loses to, like, removal spawn Giver so hard. You know, just, like, not much reason to play the Seer yet. Yeah, I think going for Infinite Scries last turn is too greedy. I think you have to just play a little slower here. Are there any Discord pages to get feedback on deck techs? No. I've been getting this question a lot lately. Spy, can we get deck techs off stream? I'm live 5-6 hours a day, almost every day, and I don't have the energy or, you know, to like just come off stream and answer more questions, you know. I think for the most part I'm just not available after the stream. I do appreciate the enthusiasm and, like, you know, don't get that twisted. I am happy that you guys are, you know, interested, but I just don't have it in me. Alright, definitely bad shape here. A bit more in general, like a community somewhere. Oh yeah, there is a Discord channel. I'm never in it though. There is a Discord channel. I have no idea what's going on in there, to be honest. -4 lands, +4 Glasswell Mimic. You could play 1 Mimic. 4 is way too many in this 4-color deck. I could Saffi the Giver of Runes here. Yeah, I'll just sack it. I do think the new op can see some play in Pioneer, yeah. Yeah, I also spent a lot of time doing stream prep. I also spent a lot of time doing Channel Fireball stuff and busy with the house, you know. Yeah, I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about you guys asking. It's fine. It's just it's too much, you know. A VIP redemption for Protean Hulk. Awesome. Let me sideboard real quick. We'll get that going. Okay, so I'm bringing the Forge-Tender, I think, over the Soul Warden. Stop the Lightning Bolts. So I think the rest of the deck stays mostly the same, unfortunately. Hope to get a little tricky. Do sack out, let's go infinite. Yeah, Saffi, Renegade Rallier, let your sack out. Let's go infinite. I guess I probably should have played Temple Garden in case I drew a 1-drop and wanted to Neoform on turn 2. We're a real Yorion player now, though, that we've had Aether Vial in our opening hand twice. So I think next turn I'm not going to tick the Vial up, and I'm just going to cast Ranger-Captain Vial in a 1-drop. And so the following turn, my Vial is going to be available to put in the Saffi, so I think it's fine to not cast Saffi here. I guess this plan goes out the window if my opponent, kills my Vial, though. Which it looks like they are doing. Not like the end of the game, I guess. Hasn't Vial suffered enough, Wizards? You gotta also print March of Otherworldly Light. Haven't we suffered enough, okay? Let me play the Ranger Captain. I think I'm grabbing Giver again. Maybe Forge-Tender is better, so I'm not so cold to Fury. Let's get that. I could also, of course, grab Renegade Rallier. Or, sorry, Viscera Seer. Mongoose, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, here I think I'm going to lead on Forge-Tender, then play Saffi's Birds, assuming this just all happens. Oh, they're endurancing me? That's pretty brutal. Pretty rough. Oh, this whole league has been pain, just pure pain so far. Mongoose, thank you for the 9 months. May have already said that, but thank you. Was that the reason to play Saffi pre-combat? I guess. Yeah. I guess so, huh? Just kind of attack first out of habit. It's a really interesting draw. Start off by trying to Neoform Saffi into Rallier. Okay, let's give it one more go. Then we can play some mono red fires if this fails. Alright, this is where our luck turns around. We get Abzan Triumph on turn 1 off of Flooded Strand, I think. Think Grist could be a good one of. Yeah, Grist could be a good addition. Jordan, 4 months. Any hot Pioneer Brews I'm looking to play soon? I'm working on this Blue-Red Dragons list. Right on time, Aether Vial. I think it's Prowess. I'm working on this Blue-Red Dragons deck that I think is pretty interesting. First place I heard of Cosmic Classic was Faithless Spring Podcast. Yeah, I can't remember who originated it. I wish maybe someone in chat knows. Well, this is a horrifying start for them on the play. Is it playing Silumgar Scorn? Yeah, it's playing Silumgar Scorn. Yeah, I remembered to put that one in there. Are we voicing or playing Wall? I think we play the Wall. Yeah, I did remember to put that one in the deck. Well, they have three cards in their hand. How bad could it be, huh? Okay. Darting me. Gonna flashback the dart to kill the Wall. One card left in their deck. Or their hand, sorry. They got more cards in the deck. Gonna try to, hope they've got nothing, I guess. They should have cast that main phase 1, probably. But I also have no doubt that we're just dead here. There's, like, no real reason to combat this, right? Things do get a little bit better post-board. We get to bring in the Forge-Tender, extra copies of Solitude, Sanctifier, and Vac. I'll probably bring in the Knight of Autumn as well. I'm not sure how strong it is in this matchup, though. Drannith Magistrate is maybe weirdly good because it's a 1/3, and it stops Flashback, Lava Dart, and Brazen Borrower from being cast from Adventure, and also stops... Oh, it also stops Light at the Stage cards and Expressive Iteration cards. Yeah, Drannith Magistrate I think is probably, like, just randomly good. And I think I'm going to go Lesson on the combo here. I'm going to cut the Viscera Seer. I'm going to cut the Blasting Station. Carrion Feeder seems like it's probably still really good, since it's going to allow me to make an infinitely big creature, and hopefully they don't have the Brazen Borrower again. I can probably cut the Cutthroat, trim on Saffi, cut the Venser. Could cut the Soulherder. Soulherder's usually not that strong in these kinds of matchups. Yeah, I think we got the Soulherder. Is Witness too slow? I think it's okay to leave in the Witness. You could maybe cut that over the Soulherder, I guess. I don't feel bad about leaving it in. This sounds okay. I'm gonna keep this. Where are the combos in the deck? There's a few. So basically all the combos revolve around a sack outlet and then Saffi and Renegade Rallier, and that gives you infinite sacrifices. So you get either infinite scries or infinite counters on Carrion Feeder, which can either gain you infinite life if you have a Soul's Attendant in play, or you can scry into a Blasting Station, scry into a Soul's Attendant, scry into a Blood Artist to win the game. Please tell me you love the Naked Gun. No opponent's name. The Naked Gun, I remember those movies were good. I don't remember. Is this the villain? I remember I liked like at least the first two. I don't know if I saw any more, or if there are any more. My opponent decides to bolt the bird. I really don't know what I want to do here. I think I'll just play Drannith Magistrate. Maybe this is just like a straightforward line, but they get Falco Spara. Again, you gotta give me the names of cards. Whoa, they're light up the staging when I have the Magistrate. This is super dangerous. Maybe they don't realize that Magistrate stops these cards from being cast. Maybe they just have another bolt in their hand. But if they do have another bolt, they don't get both of these. Sacks the Fire Islet. They do know. They do know. Okay. Okay, this turn, let's just go Ranger-Captain for Forge-Tender. Okay, Drannith Magistrate just randomly amazing. Oh, shouldn't have F6. Stormwing Entity, so I can Eladamri's Call for Solitude if I am super scared of this. I'm a little scared of it. I could also Phantasmal Image the Entity and play like Birds or Forge-Tender or Giver. They put two cards on the bottom. Seems just like a little too reckless to not just do this when I'm so ahead. I've got so many cards. They can't really win, I think, if I get the Entity exiled. One card left in their hand. Alright, so I think I like Forge-Tender, Image, copy Forge-Tender, play Vial. Maybe this is bad against second Stormwing. So I can sack the Forge-Tender, bring back the Phantasmal Image with Rallier, and copy anything in play. I think I'll just keep that trick up my sleeve for now, and just get in for 1. GM, thank you for 5 months, appreciate ya. What format was the Blue-Red Dragon deck I mentioned been brewing? Pioneer. I think the list is okay. Maybe we get to play some of it. It's like, I kind of want to spend a little bit more time with it off stream. What's great about Pioneer is I really feel like I've had a lot of time to, like... I've had, like, a lot of stuff to work on, so... I haven't felt like there's been, like, a lack of interesting stuff to brew with. Yeah, I think we just keep waiting here. What is Saffi? Saffi Eriksdotter actually cited 1 out, or 2 out. So this card can target your Renegade Rallier, and then with a sack outlet, you can return these creatures infinitely. And try to combo off. While also just playing, like, kind of a fairer plan. I wonder if I was just supposed to cast the Yorion as just a 4/5 flyer to close the game out with. That's probably okay. And then I guess I could flicker the image if I wanted to image something else, but I don't really want to. Is the Eric your name another legendary card? I think so. It's like the guy, he's like sniffing the flower in the art, and then I think Saffi may be like running in the background. I don't know if like how they're related, but I do think that they're pretty commonly depicted in cards together. Okay. I don't think we could win this turn. Flicker image will kill it. Yorion doesn't target, so you can flicker it, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Yorion doesn't target. I think I just want to Neoform into an Eternal Witness here. Set up to try to win. Oh. I meant to get Eternal Witness. Okay, whatever. I saw the casting cost in the E. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, maybe I should have flickered the Forge. Okay, there's back again. Okay, weird game. Go to game 3. On the draw against Prowess, these like creature-based combo decks usually have a pretty hard time. Run the image will return us Forge-Tender. The image will return us Forge-Tender. You'll be able to choose to copy something new. Yeah, yeah. If you sack the image, it goes to the graveyard to return with Rallier. You can copy whatever you want. Hey, champ. Saffi is the one running from Tarmogoyf. Her and her brother Hans. They actually met. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've heard of Akhan's Run. Heard of that card. I don't love this hand. Voice is probably okay in this matchup, though. Feels very close. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay. Well, I don't know if I feel like this hand is better, but I'm gonna keep. It's a really interesting draw. I think I want to get the Abzan Triome on turn 1. No 1-mana creature is good for me. It kind of makes me feel like I wish I kept that first hand, though. I can use the Yorion as a white card to exile the Sprite Dragon. I probably don't need to do that too aggressively either. Hopefully I don't need to. Bolt's me. Yeah, the flying on Sprite Dragon, definitely a big problem. Down to 11. Don't have a Deputy of Detention either. So I could go Solitude, pitch the Rallier, exile Sprite Dragon, then Neoform the Voice of Resurgence into Eternal Witness, get back Solitude, cast Birds of Paradise, and then next turn I could hard cast the Solitude. Don't love it. Okay, I gotta actually grab Eternal Witness this time, though. That's part of this. Yeah, if you could Neoform an instant would be way too good with the Incarnations. Just like turn 2, put Primeval Titan into play. But with Leyline of Seeding, Leyline of Anticipation, Neoform, Solitude, white card, 2 lands. Or Fairy. Braid. 3 cards in their hands. Lava Dart. Lava Dart seems pretty good against their deck. Seismic with the 12 months, appreciate you. I can Solitude this next turn with the Yorion. They're hitting me for 5, down to 5. 1 card left in their hands. I think I'm still pitching the Yorion. And then I'll leave this back to block. Oh, flooding out a little bit over there. We're certainly still in a precarious position. We're also, don't have anything else going on now. They also have a land. They could hardcast Stormwing, but they don't have Stormwing. Now I can get back Voice of Resurgence with this Renegade Rallier. Don't feel too bad about going to 4. They're F6'd also. Alright, now I've got a pretty big clock. 7, 8, 9 a turn. 2-turn clock. It's a very Solitude Neoform. Doesn't seem like that a reasonable thing to brew. Yeah. I don't know, maybe. Sounds really fun, to be honest. Manamorphose. Darts me. You can gonna type something cool in the chat before lightning bolting me. Nothing personal, kid. I'm sorry, little one. They did it. You just bump those numbers up to 4. You slap Yorion in there. You slap some Omen of the Seas. You're good to go. I really think there's not a good argument for not playing Yorion in Blue-White Control and Pioneer. Especially when you just have so many 3-ofs here. It's just so easy to get those ratios up. People have Glittering Wish seems like the 4th best tutor you could play, and I think I'm not that interested. All right, take your card and get out of here. So like I just recently I wrote a like guide for Blue-White Control and Pioneer, a list that I would recommend. I don't know if that's up on Channel Fireball yet, but there's like lots of like good established lists that you can look at, and I think you probably don't need like too much help pivoting into like the Yorion version. But there's just my big takeaway here for you is like there's just not a good reason to be 60 cards in the Blue-White Control deck in Pioneer. The 80 card versions are better. There's like lots of different options and choices you can choose from. Gifit Yogg be able to Neoform Rallier combo. Yeah, you could. I mean, like I've played Rallier and Yawgmoth combo in the past sometimes. I think it is a fine card to play. the RNG on flooding is a thing in 80 cards. It's a really small thing. Like, I mean, you also get to play 4 Omen of the Sea in the Yorion version, so like that card does help you with flooding less. I also like. I'm just like too dumb to understand like why playing Yorion makes you more likely to flood. To be honest, my little monkey brain can't understand it. But people keep saying that that's the case. I do believe that the math is, you know, people aren't like just wrong about that. But I don't really understand it personally. Just more variants. Yeah, so like I know that's like what Karsten's. I mean, people have tried to explain it to me. I really don't understand because like why is the bigger number more variants if the ratio is the same? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I want to get a Venser, but it's just gonna be a little slow. I could get a Renegade Rallier actually. That's probably good. What do we get? Or maybe I should have got Saffi first. Okay. This deck is so brain wrinkling to play. Yeah, I think I'm just putting another voice into play. Call end of turn. Troll, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Oh, sorry, I should have put the voice in. Just kind of brain farted on it. We're bringing the Kataki, the Solitudes, the Outland Liberator, the Plague Engineer, and the Knight of Autumn. Definitely nice you get to bring in a lot of cards in this matchup. Your combo should, in theory, also be pretty good here. We ran into it round 1, and then they had their main deck, March of Otherworldly Light, earlier today. They're going to cut the Carrion Feeder, cut the Soul Warden. Jordan has more consistent average draws, but worst case draws can be worse, and there are more ways you can get them. Extreme case is easier to visualize. If you draw 17 cards, normal 40 card limit to deck, then you're guaranteed to draw flooding. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, I understand now. I understand. Yes, I will say though. Okay, I will say this though. Okay, that obviously makes. I understand that now. Why the Yorion deck is more prone to flooding, but you also get Yorion, right? You get Yorion as a companion, which is inherently flood insurance, right? So I do understand that concept. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for explaining it that way. But I would imagine that the presence of Yorion as flood insurance outweighs that math. It's like obviously like hard to quantify how valuable Yorion as flood insurance is, though, right? More prone to small pockets. That is true, but it's also like I think that's usually why we're not doing it here, to be honest. But a lot of times I do like to play more lands in a Yorion deck than I would play in a different archetype. Just because, like, very small, but like you would rather get a little more flooded than mana screwed in a Yorion deck, so that you you always have Yorion at least when you're mana screwed. You just have nothing to do, obviously. This is probably fine. I'm a little worried about what's going on over there, but we've got our Knight of Autumn. I think I would get a little, just like the tiniest bit greedy, blow up the Saga first. They've got one card left in their hands, no companion yet anymore. Okay, so they have their hammer, but Oh, they have their hammer and they attack with both sentinels. Well, I think I just block 1 with a wall and take 11. Okay, they only attack with 1. Pretty happy about that. So I need to... My Ephemerate basically costs 2 mana and it's going to give my opponent 1 card. So it seems like it doesn't have a huge cost to me to Rallier as a mana accelerant here. I have the island still in the deck, so I'll get the... Or sorry, the forest still in the deck, so I'll get the Misty. And then, is it more relevant to kill the Sentinel or to kill the Hammer? I think it's probably more relevant to kill the Hammer. I think that paying for the Sentinel at this point in the game is not going to be that difficult. Block with Rallier? I think I just want to do this first. I don't think chump blocking with Rallier. Oh, block with Rallier, then blow up Hammer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should have done that. Okay, so we get to flicker the Knight of Autumn, blow up the Sigardizade. Probably will shock to play the birds, unless I find something better to find off the Wall of Omens here. Then the Yorion's definitely going to be a nice pickup. Okay, then we have Saffi to help with the combo too. So things are really coming together. My opponent doesn't have much going on. I guess the Giver runes is pretty scary if they do hit runner like Sigardizade Hammer, but we even have outs to go off. Yeah, this is fine. We can blow this up with the Rallier this next turn. Could attack first. It's kind of awkward if they double block anything. I think I'm okay to just wait. Yeah, I've messed around a little bit with Renegade Rallier and brought back, and I think that it's kind of hard to like also play like the dedicated combo in that kind of deck. I tried Restoration Angel in Yorion decks? Yes. I have played them in some Yorion decks. You could play them here. I will also say that, like, usually in these kind of creature-based Yorion decks, people act like you just have infinite slots. You don't really. You don't have infinite room, unfortunately. Yes, okay. Yorion decks do actually make you flood every time. Unearth could be spicy. It would be maybe like a Coco version with Unearth. Maybe not Yorion and a version like that. I guess actually they just have a block in Pro White. They missed it though. I missed it too. But they're not drawing a card. I'll leave this in place so I can get revolts. I think that's probably more relevant than thinning. DRC and Jund Saga, am I leaning yes or no? I have not been playing it in Jund Saga. I think it's a fine way to build the deck. I had one stream where I was like 13-2 with 4 Spyro, 4 Lily, no DRC, no Bauble. I haven't played it much since then, but I haven't had as good a run though either. Is there anything interesting we can do with double Saffi? Not really, right? Not without a sack outlet. I do think my attacks get kind of interesting, though. I guess I should have attacked with Saffi, too. But then I would end up doing this anyways, so it ends up kind of being more or less the same. Or was I supposed to return the Knight of Autumn? I feel like I just don't get to destroy anything. Or anything that's relevant, you know? It's like I'm killing like a Springleaf Drum. Quickly scanning sports for new cap. I'm not seeing any cards that pop up as Modern Pioneer playable. I'm missing something. I think there are plenty of cards that are somewhat Modern playable. I don't think there's anything that feels like super game breaking or like gonna establish a tier 1 strategy necessarily, but lots of cards that are like fringe playable, interesting, and you know, you can tune into the stream and see which ones I'm gonna be playing with. I get this comment, I think, literally every single set. Every single set, someone says this, that they think that there are no playable Modern or Pioneer or whatever format they're interested in cards. Oh, they're letting me kill their Purestone Paladin? That's great. Why did they let me kill their Purestone Paladin? It's Throne of Eldraine all over again. Nothing but standard trash. Yes. Throne of Eldraine, terrible set. It's good. It's maybe the best comment we've had all day. Briefly, like going through, I think Tenacious Underdog is really good. Voidrend is going to see some play. Obviously, the Triomes are a big deal. Workshop Warchief is good in Pioneer, at least. Hold on. I really like Riveter's Charm. I think Riveter's Charm is probably the card I'm most excited for. Crew Captain I thought might be interesting in Humans. Maybe not interesting enough for me to spend a lot of time on it, but interesting. Rocco, this card's very interesting with Asmo. Chamber of the Parish, got deck tech. I may just turn to Neoform, Birds of Paradise into a Kami, or what's the card called? The one that gives artifacts cumulative upkeep 1, or not cumulative, just upkeep pay 1. I feel like I'm scrolling over some other cards I liked. Maybe there weren't as many cards in the set as that I liked as I thought, to be honest. I mean, obviously, like the new Ob. I didn't see the new Ob when I was scrolling through. I like it somewhat. I like it a lot in Pioneer and like a little bit in Modern. This is kind of scary. One thing I could do here that I kind of like is Ranger-Captain for Viscera Seer, then just upkeep sack. And then they can't hammer the Nexus and their upkeep. We got deck tech 2 to do. Devoted Druid Snowblade. Oh yeah, this card, Luxor, the gift card. This card's gonna be interesting in the Devoted Druid decks. I think it's like a little overhyped, but there's a lot of interesting ways to build the deck too. The way I've been the most interested to build this deck is gonna be in hold on. Sorry, this is a hard turn. I'll get to the deck tech in a second. Yeah, I think I cited out the Zulaport. No, the Zulaport's still in. So this turn I can go... obviously I want to not die to Inkmoth Nexus, and the way to do that is to leave the Birds of Paradise up. So like I can just go potentially Saffi, tap Birds of Paradise for Viscera Seer, or just like leave the Ephemerate up to Ephemerate the birds in combat. And then next turn, I can go Saffi, Neoform Saffi into Renegade Rallier, play Viscera Seer, Renegade Rallier back to Saffi. Then I get Infinite Scries. Then I get Infinite Scries, but I don't have like another Neoform in hand to win the game that turn. Unless I draw it, I guess. So I could maybe go... What happens if I go Image the Birds of Paradise? Image the Birds of Paradise. Block, survive, whatever. The next turn I get to go... Saffi, Neoform, Rallier, Seer, sack the Image, get back the... Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Okay, I think I'm just going to play Saffi Pass. Yeah, Jailers for Dredge. I would say that this looks like to be like a relatively safe way to build this deck. I wouldn't play neither Reliquary, though, I think. I think that card's terrible. One card I really want to play in this archetype is Ranger-Captain of Eos. Where, like, Ranger-Captain is just a card that you can sack to protect your combo a lot of the time. Like a lot of my builds have, like, Ranger-Captain, and then they have the Post-Mortem Lunge. And you don't have the Post-Mortem Lunges here. Yeah, I also don't really like the Court of Calling so much. I think like Coco tends to be better in these decks. Just gets to be like a bit more value in a format where there's just like so much removal. So it's always obviously the problem for this archetype. I feel like I would like to see more Hierarchs than Birds too, to facilitate, you know, that kind of backdoor beatdown game plan. Oh yeah, you also need the bow. You need the bow to infinite combo with off of Stoneforge Mystic. Can someone link the bow? I can't remember what that card's called. Okay, things got trickier. We can combo through the relic though. We can go like... Yeah, this is actually, I think, kind of a straightforward turn, right? Well, it gets more awkward because they have the Urza Saga trigger happening. But one thing I can do is I can go cast Viscera Seer, Neoform Saffi into Renegade Rallier. They pop the relic, and then I ephemerate the Renegade Rallier, get back Saffi, and then I have Infinite Scries, and then assuming the Birds of Paradise chump block is good, we win. And I think we have to play as if they don't have Shadow Spear. I think we're probably not beating Shadow Spear anyways. The combo with Longbow. Longbow, infinite mana gives you infinite taps on Devoted Druid, and so Longbow allows you to infinite damage with Devoted Druid, which is really important because it gets Kudov Saga and Stoneforge Mystic. So yeah, I'm also working on this deck. I don't know the exact best way to build it. I will be spending some time on it though. Okay, so they're not sucking their relic. That's fine. You could just kill Sigardazade. I mean, I'm trying to kill them next turn. Like, the Birds of Paradise jump block, I think, very likely gets me to next turn, and when I get to just combo kill them. Yeah, I wouldn't play neither Reliquary. I would play the equipment. I would play Coco over Court of Calling. I really like to try to play Ranger-Captain in a lot of my builds. Especially because Ranger-Captain also finds you your Ballista, so it's also like, if you have the double white, when you go off, it's, you know, also a win. You have to play, if you are playing Eladamri's Call and Court of Calling, which I'm not saying you should, but you need to play one Vizier, right? You need to play one Vizier of Remedies. I've also tried to build a deck with Zerda as a companion. I think that's something I'm going to be interested in trying. Sideboard looks pretty good, though, overall. Although I would say I think you need, like, at least the first Solitude as an Eladamri's Call target against Hammer Time. That feels pretty mandatory. Okay, so we're going to try to scry into a win condition here. It's going to be a lot of clicks. And maybe all these clicks are going to be for nothing. Yeah, I know that Zerta doesn't work with Urza Saga. I mean, I'm also, like, not of the opinion that you need to play Urza Saga, though, you know. But, like, the Saga version's maybe better. It's just something I'm considering. And then and Zerta also gives you another combo with Umbral Mantle and a Mana Dork. So it's not like you just get it's not just the random... the random 3/3. So we're looking for either Zulaport Cutthroat or Blasting Station. Process is a lot more painful, or a lot less painful in person, I imagine. So I need to. Okay, you can't save the targets for the Renegade Rallier. I don't think I'm supposed to keep the Eladamri's Call and get lazy. Or the Neoform. Yeah. Auto yield to Rallier. I did auto yield to Rallier. You can't save the targets though, because it's like a different card in the yard every time. Yeah, good luck, champ. I think that deck's gonna be interesting to build. I don't necessarily have like super high hopes for it, but oh, did I not? Is that trigger not always yielded to? How many times have we scryed at this point? It's probably not even like that many. We've probably scryed like 12 times. We're out here dying. Oh no, I guess it doesn't matter if I accidentally keep on top. It's in here somewhere. There we go. Easy. Easy. You guys don't like scrying? You guys don't like scrying? I like scrying. Yeah, imagine accidentally clicking bottom. At least you know where it is, though. Incredible Gator, thank you for the 8 months. Appreciate you. I love that they're making a construct. If it was Scry 2 instead of Scry 1, would it be possible to completely stack your deck? Yeah. Yeah, in paper you can shortcut the stack your deck, but you have to keep it in the same order, right? Or... oh no, you can just stack your deck completely, right? Yeah, you can just stack your deck completely with Scry 1, I think. Oh, I guess you can't. Yeah, you have to cut to a spot, that's right. Yeah. It's been a long time. Yeah, Scry 2 can. Okay, my opponent is not immediately Shadow Spear plus Hammer Timing me. Although my last round opponent didn't immediately double Lava Dart me. They are grabbing the Shadow Spear. So we have 4, 6 toughness. Yeah, even we can't beat a hammer. I'm gonna just like pull my hair apart if they hammer here. Hair staying intact. Pretty pog. Yeah, so they're hoping they can break up the combo with the Relic, but my Ephemerate is going to beat that. I put Blasting Station onto the stack. I guess that maybe is a good point towards the... Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, does this actually work? Yeah, they just respond to the Rallier trigger. That's right. So what if I Phantasmal Image my Rallier, get back a land? Does that do anything? No, the problem is they Relic in response to the Rallier coming back. Oh my gosh. I probably should have pinged instead here. Yeah, I mean, getting Revolt is pretty free. Is the next card. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a funny card to see. Yeah, so if I Saffi target Rallier, that doesn't work. But I can go... I just lose. I just lose, right? I have it with Ephemerate. No, if I Ephemerate the Rallier, it doesn't work because it's an image, right? You Ephemerate the real one, it doesn't work. I can't. There's no window for me to Ephemerate the real one, right? There's no window for me to Ephemerate the real one that they would respond to. Yeah, we have to go for it. Let's pivot off the deck. I spent a long time working on this off stream. I did have a lot more success with it off stream. I wasn't like killing with it or anything, or I was killing my opponents. I wasn't crushing with it. I thought we might have a slightly better day. Should we have saved the image? There's no if you Saffi target image dies before Saffi's trigger resolves for it. I feel really confident there wasn't a window there. I'm 100% you could have won. Please explain. Saffi Rallier, copy Rallier with image. If they Relic in response, you sack the OG Rallier. Saffi the Rallier. So sack Saffi, target Rallier. Copy Rallier with image. Image brings back Saffi. Then what? Then do what? It's because they haven't responded to anything at this point. So at this point you have two. What happens then? They're not going to Relic in response to that.